Welcome, everyone. Happy to be here. My name is Teresa Meyer, and I have my amazing colleague here, Cindy Ryan. We're here to present the Dalhousie Student Intern and Recruitment for the Greater Burnside Business Association. So this is being recorded for those that are unable to join today. First off, we always like to start with a land acknowledgement. Dalhousie University operates in the unceded territories of the Mi'kmaq, Wolastoqey, and Pescosko-Makati peoples. These sovereign nations hold inherent rights as the original peoples of these lands. And we each carry collective obligations under the Peace and Friendship Treaties, Section 35 of the Constitution Act of 1982, which recognizes and affirms Aboriginal and treaty rights in Canada. We also recognize that African Nova Scotians are a distinct people whose histories, legacies, and contributions have enriched that part of Mi'kmaq known as Nova Scotia for over 400 years. So our agenda today is short and sweet. We're going to start with our introductions, a little bit more, Dalhousie at a glance. We'll talk about our intern and recent grad recruitment. We'll then talk about funding opportunities, steps to hire, and a Q&A for any questions that may come up during the session. So again, Cindy, I'll let you speak for a moment to introduce yourself.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Greater Business Association, for having us today and hosting us. We have attended, Teresa and I, some of your events, and we've had great conversations with employers and some partners and some new partners. My name is Cindy Ryan. I'm the Employer Engagement Manager for Management Career Services, which is the Faculty of Management within Dalhousie. We have a decentralized career and co-op office. Essentially, we are working within the business realm. I'm working within the business realm of co-ops and the Masters of Business Public Administration. Thanks, Teresa.
Thanks. And I'm Teresa. I'm actually Cindy's counterpart. So I'm the Employer Relations Manager for our Work Integrated Learning and Cooperative Education Department. So we support students in 27 different programs. And we'll get into that as we go forward. So to give you a quick overview of Dalhousie, we have 20,000 students are enrolled in Dalhousie, 46% join us from out of province, and 13% are international students. We have 120 countries represented with the average entering grade of students of 87.6, and over 2,800 students participate in co-op work terms and internships each year, and those numbers are growing. So to get a little bit more into the Dalhousie student intern and recent grad recruitment, we always want to talk about why hire co-op and internships. It's a great way to build your talent pipeline. It is a cost-effective way to meet your staffing challenges, whether or not that's for projects, for peak seasons, for vacations. Companies also find that they gain a lot of knowledge and fresh perspectives from students. Connecting with post-secondary is a way to increase your brand on campus and establish links with us, which we're always open to that. And it's also a great way companies use co-op and internship programs to assess fit for long-term recruitment needs. So it's a great way to build your talent pipeline. So within Dal, we have 3 departments, and Cindy will get into more about hers. So we have our Department of Work Integrated Learning and Cooperative Education, which I mentioned. We support students in STEM, so science, IT, engineering, architecture, planning. We also have some master's programs, which you can see. And next summer, from May to August, we'll have students in a new program, the Arts and Social Sciences program. So that's great. That's a new initiative. We're piloting an internship for the Arts and Social Science students. So that's exciting. Then we have, of course, Management Career Services, which Cindy will get into, that oversees business, MPA, as well as a corporate residency MBA. And then we have our Business Student Success Center. So this is where companies can create, they can post jobs for part-time, full-time, non-co-op or internships. And they also host events on campus, which we'll talk more about. So when are students available? When is the co-op and internship schedule? Basically, whenever you have a hiring need, I would reach out because students are available in the fall from September to December, in the winter from January to April, and then in the summer from May to August. So for instance, we have students that are actually out working in industry right now. We also have a cohort of students that are applying for jobs for the fall, which is September to December. And most students can start working in the fall until around the third, they can start as late as the third or fourth week of September. So just reach out to us if you want, if you're interested in the fall. Lots of students to select, lots of amazing students. So work term lengths can be 4, 8, 12, or 16, with most of them being 4 months or 8 months. Job postings, we start posting at the beginning of the term, but it continues throughout the term. So our kickoff for the winter will be in September, but we still have students actively looking and applying on jobs for the fall as well. So work terms, co-op and internships are paid work terms, minimum wage or above. The minimum is 12 weeks, with most being 14 to 16 full-time hours. So they're usually 35, 37 and a half or 40 hours per week. And they can be 100% remote, 100% in person, or you could have a hybrid work arrangement. So that's what our team is here for, is to work with you and support you and help you every step of the way. So to deep dive a little bit into the work integrated learning and cooperative, commonly known as WIL Co-op, which is us, which is me and a large team, I might add. We support students in 27 programs, 1 faculty and 1 college. So in our I won't read everything on the screen. We're happy to share these slides afterwards, but you can see that computer science is 4 to 8 months, both undergrad and masters. Engineering, we have 4, 8, 12, or 16. Planning, you can see we have an undergraduate, they do 80 hours, so we call that a placement. So they do 1 day a week for 80 hours from January to March. Science can do 4 months or 8 months, as well as sustainability. So that's our programs, and of course, arts and social science next summer. And over to you, Cindy. I'll mute myself for now.
Yes, thank you, Teresa. Management Career Services, which is essentially the Faculty of Management. Myself and my small mighty team works to support over 1,000 co-op and internships a year. We have a constant pipeline of Bachelor of Commerce students that are available for 4 months all year round. We are the only mandatory co-op program in the country. We are also a accredited business school. There is other co-op programs across the country, but we are the only mandatory. And that basically means that we have, a certain set of criteria and so on that the students must meet for credit. And therefore, that's why these are paid internships. Also, just in the Bachelors of Commerce, there is several. The top 3 are accounting, finance, marketing. Also, we have supply chain and logistics, which we're one of the few business schools that offer supply chain and logistics majors. And then there's entrepreneurship, and managing people and organizations at Dalhousie is actually HR. We don't actually call it HR, where St. Mary's may call it HR. The corporate residency MBA, they do in 8 months from January. So we're recruiting right now for them, and they do an 8-month corporate residency. There's about 50 of them across the country that go to corporate organizations as well as small organizations. And we have the Bachelor of Management internship. That is a really cool interdisciplinary program that has to do with all things management. And they also do a very interesting major there with environmental sustainability as well as managing data and information. Also, they could do a public sector management. And then we have the master's in public admin. A majority of those students are available in the summer, and there's a 4 months for them. A lot of them do work within the government and around economics and policy. Next slide, please. So I wanted to share here with our decentralized model. We have the Will Co-op office, which Teresa manages, myself manage my career services, which is somewhat business related. And then we have this centralized BISIT center. Essentially, when you have an employer account, it's free at Dalhousie. And what that means is you are able to then recruit from all three aspects within the module of our system. And then the BISIT Center offers basically services for non-co-op. So these are full-time jobs, part-time jobs, or casual jobs, or even volunteer opportunities. They also at this centralized career center called the BISIT Center, Student Success Center, they host career fairs. So we're just putting it on your radar in case it's something that you would be interested in, that you would want to advertise your company or opportunities. We have the annual University Career Fair that's in October. That's a joint effort between Mount St. Vincent, St. Mary's University, and Dalhousie. And that, if you are interested, we can make sure that you have those details so that you could register and be involved. And then Dalhousie has its own annual career fair every February. Again, that career fair encompasses a part-time, full-time, and co-op opportunities. Next slide, please. So here we have a few we took an opportunity to showcase a few of the Greater Business Association memberships that we're currently working with. This is only a snapshot. We work with several other companies, but I just wanted to kind of showcase some logos for you to let you know that we're already working with some of these companies that are currently under your association that have hired our students or continue to hire them on a regular basis. Next slide, please. So I'd like to get into funding opportunities. That's always an interest for employers, how they can save money. There is specific funding out there that supports what we call worker integrated learning. And so I'm going to get into two types of funding. I'll start with provincial, and then I'll get into federal. So again, I won't get into all the weeds of funding. I just want to kind of give you an overview, what is a possibility, and that this is available. Often a lot of people don't even realize that, or employers, that this is available. So if you have a registered company in Nova Scotia, you have a joint stocks number, then you're somewhat considered an opportunity to be eligible for this funding. It is run through the Labor Skills and Immigration government body, and we work in conjunction with the government to support our employer partners with this provincial funding. We don't disseminate the funds in any way. We are just the gatekeepers of supporting what the actual job description. So if you see in red there, we must obtain your job description and approve it. And then what happens is once we approve your job description that it meets the criteria for co-op and worker integrated learning, regardless of what program, what happens is then you actually apply to the government on their system and portal to receive possibly the funding. So the employers that are eligible are really a wide band: private sector, government funded, so nonprofit, charitable organizations, social enterprise, or municipalities. So everyone with exception of the provincial government, quite frankly. And then you have student eligibility. What's really neat about this particular funding is that this funding is open to both. If you wanted to hire the best candidate, you don't need to worry about student eligibility. It's open to both domestic and international students. They do need to be in a registered co-op program and returning to school, but we know the verification when students are applying and you put a job on our job portal, we make sure that all those students meet those criterias. And then the co-op recruitment cycle would be a 12 to 16 week term. term. The MBA or some of the other STEM programs, maybe 32 weeks, which is 8 months. So that's kind of neat that they actually fund opportunities up to 8 months, and they are full time. And the minimum salary is 18 per hour. However, the government is giving preference to employers that are actually hiring at 19.50 and above. Because of the livable wage and the way that things are changing. And then you pay the 4% vacation pay. And then what happens is you get a rebate if you are eligible and you apply and you do receive this funding. At the end of the recruitment cycle, you receive an $8 per hour on as a rebate back for hiring a student. So I will get into the next subsidy now. And just so you know, with this provincial government, funding, we cannot stack federal funding. Some provinces allow this, but we're very fortunate in Nova Scotia to have this cooperative education incentive funding, and therefore they won't allow stacking. However, if you are a nonprofit organization and you are on the call, or you are listening to this recording, I would like to mention there is a specific funding for our what's called skills. And that is very specific to nonprofits. It's summer only, but we can, there's also other types of funding. We're not getting into many different forms. So again, we are kind of, advisors in terms of supporting employers around how to navigate this particular aspect of supporting student and recruitment. Federal funding, this is a student work placement program. Short, it's called SWIP. There are 18 different delivery partners that disseminate these funds across the country on behalf of the federal government. And with that, then you can imagine if there's 18 different delivery partners, there's probably 18 different ways or different portals and application processes. Again, reach out to us. We're happy. We have affiliated relationships with majority of these partners. We have been navigating and supporting employers in this space for over 5 years. This is a 50% wage minimum. So what this means is with the provincial government, you're getting an hourly kind of rebate back based on the hours the student worked and the amount of weeks combined. This is kind of like up to 50% of their wages, which is up to a maximum of $5,000. So you are a registered business or a nonprofit. That's all the criteria as an employer, but there's very specific student criteria, meaning the student that you hire has to meet these criteria, meaning they are registered in a cooperative internship program and that they meet the criteria of Canadian citizenship, permanent resident, or persons with refugee protection under the law. Why? Because this is indirectly funded through tax-paying Canadian dollars, so therefore this student criteria exists. This is not open to international students, and therefore you wouldn't be able to support this funding with hiring outside of Canadian citizenship, PR, or refugee. Also, that they're legally entitled to work in Canada. Like I said, we make sure that all our students have all that paperwork that's not expected to be done through the employer. So that's something that is important for employers to realize, that all that work is done as they are being eligible for work. Next slide, please. Steps to hire, very easy. Really, it's registering for an account. That account is free. It gives you access to hiring, again, over 2,500 different co-op and internships that we have every year. We basically can meet with us individually. We can have a Teams chat. We can discuss your individual hiring needs and maybe even make suggestions. If you feel that you would like to work with a counterpart that is not Dalhousie, like one of our other universities, that you feel that they might, we're happy to also make recommendations or to send you referrals. It's that we're just providing information about Dalhousie today, but we share this space and work within this space. We appreciate that. And just, we're there to help you navigate what it means to apply for funding if needed, work with your job description. Some, departments don't maybe have a full HR department, so they might need support with that. And also the fact that it is a user-friendly opportunity that you can actually self-post your job. You don't even need us. If you feel like I already have everything that I need, I have my job description, I have everything in order. All I really want to do is get it advertised and showcased. That's possible as well. Also, if you have an employer account with us, we provide you information on a, quarterly basis. We have newsletters. We have information about when the funding comes out. So sometimes it's great, even if you're thinking about recruiting with us, that you are actually registering so that you're informed as our departments have information. And right now,